Today's lesson is cycle threshold.
Cycle threshold is basically a term that we use when we're doing a molecular test.
Dr. David Beckham, not that guy, this one. He's helping me as I kick around terms like cycle threshold to help you understand how your COVID test comes back positive or negative.
When you run these molecular tests for these viruses, it gives you a number. It doesn't give you a plus or a minus.
Just like a pregnancy test, the positive or negative is really a value that's converted into an easy to understand symbol. Cycle threshold is a term you should know because the NFL just changed its protocols for when a vaccinated player who tests positive for COVID can come back and play. One of the ways they can be cleared is having their PCR test come back with a cycle threshold value of 35 or greater. I know that sounds like gibberish, but here's how we can make it simple. Mako Medical, for example, is one of the free testing sites around the state. I found out today that lab's cycle threshold is 35. So if your test comes back with a number greater than 35, it means either you don't have the virus or you have little active virus that it's unlikely you're infectious, and so you receive a negative result. If your test comes back with a number lower than 35, it means you have enough active virus that you're likely infectious and your test comes back positive.
So you have to kind of pick a number where you say, okay, above this number, it's just background noise. And then below this number, based on our controls and other tests that we've done, below this number, it's a real positive and it's really there.
Not all providers have the same cycle threshold value. At COVID Check Colorado, another provider of free testing in the state, many of the tests are run by Summit Biolabs. That company told me it sets its cycle threshold at 36. Again, anything higher, negative. Anything lower, positive. Each lab sets its own cycle threshold. Why are the cycle thresholds different depending on the lab? And the simple answer, different machines. Kyle, the value comes in handy for doctors treating patients. According to Dr. Beckham, if he sees someone in the hospital for months, sometimes he'll ask for the CT value so he can see how much of the virus is still in that patient to know if they're getting better.
That makes sense when you think about it like that. So obviously, Marshall, they're making a value judgment about whether it would be more trouble to get false positives or false negatives, and that's where they kind of lay down the bar.
Right, and so different labs have different numbers, and part of that reason, I guess, for certain thinking is you'd rather rope some negative people into the positive range versus positive people going out and about because their tests showed they were negative because you set that value too low.
Yeah, and people do get tested a number of times to get that confirmatory test. All right, thank you, Marshall.